Hello everybody, welcome to the Generic Kappa YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. I'm Amar, otherwise known as Generic Cappy, and today I wanted to do an interesting video, at least for me, related to the Nintendo Switch Successor. We are expecting the reveal to happen this week for the console, and so I want to make it kind of a Nintendo Switch Successor themed week, where today I will be doing a pre-reveal discussion video. At some point this week, I will have predictions out for the reveal, and then obviously I will have a reaction after the reveal. So please obviously stay tuned to the channel for those two videos after this one. But if you do enjoy this video or you have any thoughts about this video, please feel free to leave a comment down below, as well as like and subscribe if that's what you like to do. Without further ado, let us get right into the discussion. So as I mentioned earlier, we are expecting the Nintendo Switch Successor to be revealed this week. And so, again, I wanted to make a themed week around the Successor. It won't be like super themed. It'll be a couple of videos on the Successor, but I was expecting to do my predictions for the video for today, but we don't really have an idea about what the reveal will look like just yet. And I don't want to do my predictions in case something is totally different than we're expecting. And I will talk about that here in this video, what I'm kind of expecting the reveal to be, but I don't want it to be like I say too much, and obviously that much will not be contained in the reveal, or I say too little and then the reveal is something that's pretty, substantial. So I figured today would be a good time to do just a pre-reveal discussion video. I will be talking about my thoughts on what the reveal might be, some of the announcements. I will try my best not to go too much into predictions, just because I know that's kind of not what this discussion is about. Obviously, some of it will bleed into just the idea of doing a discussion video about the pre-reveal of the Nintendo Switch Successor. But I do just want to focus on the bigger image, I guess, the wider image of what the Successor could be, what the reveal will look like, and then basically what the next couple of months for Nintendo looks like. Basically leading into March 2025, which was pretty much the end of what the period they said that they would be able to reveal the Successor in. And again, we're expecting it to be this week, but still, I'm hoping this video, even if the reveal isn't this week, still has some cool tidbits, in my opinion, of just some of my thoughts related to the Successor. So yeah, we've had a pretty, I wouldn't say it's been a huge year for Nintendo, but it's been a really good year in my opinion for Nintendo. We've had a game pretty much every single month. Starting with in January, we had Another Code, and then obviously we had Mario and Luigi, we had Princess Peach Showtime, and so on and so forth. I think the only month we've missed out so far on was April, because we didn't have anything in April, but we did have 2 games in May. And so we've had a pretty good year for Nintendo. There hasn't been like the huge games per se, like the next 3D Mario or the next Mario Kart. Or like obviously we had a new 3D Zelda last year in the form of Tears of the Kingdom, so I wasn't expecting like a new 3D Zelda, but we haven't had anything like huge in my opinion. And that's like speaking basically on the franchise itself. We've had, I think, games that will sell extremely well. We had a new Zelda, a new top-down Zelda this year. We had a new Mario Party. But I think there is signs that Nintendo's obviously slowing down a little bit. They are obviously probably allotting a lot more resources to the Successor. They've probably been doing that for a little while now. That's why we see this year that we've had more games basically made by their external development partners than the internal studios at Nintendo themselves. I was trying to do a count before I made this video, and I believe there's like 4 or 5 games that were made, or not really even games, just like projects made by Nintendo internal. Being like Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Splatoon 3 Side Order. We had Mario Party Jamboree, which released a couple weeks ago, I believe on the 17th. I've been playing it. It is really good. I would highly recommend it. But we had that, and then we had something like the Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. And I believe that's about it. We might have had one more game in that period, but I think that is it. I think that's all we've really had from Nintendo internal. And then all the other games this year, like Another Code, Princess Peach Showtime, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, and so on and so forth, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, have been developed, and they've been developed by external studios, obviously with Nintendo's influence on them, but still, they were developed by external studios, largely probably because Nintendo has a lot of their studios internally working on Nintendo Switch successor games. And so, yeah, I do think it is time for the Nintendo Switch successor to reveal, and I think that's why I'm a little bit excited to record this video, just because I think it is this week. As I've mentioned a couple of times already, I think it is this week. I think it's gonna be either between Tuesday and Wednesday at some point, like either on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm recording this on Monday, October 28th at 11:07 Eastern time in the United States. So the time period for when we normally get a direct announcement has already passed, and that's also kind of why I'm not doing the predictions right now, just because I expected maybe there was a chance that we would have the reveal announcement already, but we didn't get that. And again, I don't want it to go too much into those predictions in case the reveal doesn't turn out as I think it will be, in terms of what the format of the reveal is. But we still have, Nintendo Switch was revealed. The Nintendo Switch announcement, or the NX announcement, was on October 19th, 2016 at 8:30 Eastern time. So we still have a good amount of time before we reach that point. And then tomorrow we will be looking for the announcement again. But still, I think it is very exciting just to think about what exactly we have in store from Nintendo over the next couple of months, especially in regards to this reveal. There is a lot that could be said about it. We're in a pretty unknown time, really. We have one game coming out in November, pretty much less than 2 weeks from now, in the form of Mario and Luigi Brothership. And then we also have one more other game slated, and that is for January 2025. I don't remember the specific date, but it is Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. And then obviously we have Pokemon Legends ZA and Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, but that is pretty much it. That is, and obviously those latter two don't have dates yet. So I think we're ready for the reveal. I don't know if we are necessarily at the point where Nintendo has to do the reveal, but I think we are at the time where I think we're ready for it. I think Nintendo is ready for it. We didn't get a direct last month, which has been the norm even going into, I believe, 2016. I don't think we got a November direct in 2015, but we had a September direct in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. Even in 2020, we had the Super Mario Bros. 30th anniversary direct and a partner showcase. In 2021, 2022, 2023, we didn't get anything this year. So even though we did get directs, we got a partner showcase in August, and we got Indie World in August. Nintendo didn't necessarily need to hold all of that if they weren't planning for something later in the year. Not really hold it, but do it as early as they did. They could have obviously released it in September, but they didn't. And so I think that is honestly my main reasoning behind. There's just a lot of, not really hints, but a lot of quote unquote like smoke related to the reveal happening very, very soon. And so, yeah, I'm going with it again. I think it's going to be on either Tuesday or Wednesday, depending, just again, I think Nintendo's going to do it the day after they put the reveal out, or the reveal announcement out. So if it's the reveal announcement's tomorrow, they'll do, if the reveal announcement is tonight, they'll do it tomorrow. If the reveal announcement is some point tomorrow, they'll do it on Wednesday. I don't think they're going to do it on Halloween. I guess they could, but they've been pretty good at keeping to a schedule of doing a lot of their reveals either on Wednesday or Thursday, but mainly on Wednesdays. I think that's going to be the case here. So that was a lot of rambling just related to my initial thoughts on when the Successor announcement will happen. But what form do I think it will take? Again, we've pretty much gone through this year. We've had one general direct, and that was in June, where we got pretty much the second half of the year from Nintendo. But we didn't get a direct in February, and we didn't get a direct in September. Well, we got directs. We got a partner showcase in both February and August, but and we also got Indie Worlds. We got other directs out there, but we didn't get much in terms of like first party content outside of that direct. And then although that direct, we got Endless Ocean in the February direct, and then we've had some smaller announcements here and there. We had Emio released in August, and then we had Nintendo World Championships NES Edition released in July, and both of them were announced through social media. But still, I'm rambling a little bit still, but I think that the reveal will take the form of a direct. That's why I didn't want to do the predictions yet, because we could have another 2016 where the reveal is just a first look trailer at the console, and in that first look we see a couple of games that are new to us. We haven't seen them ever before, and obviously some third-party games. But the reason why I think this review will be a direct, outside of just, the idea that they didn't do a direct, in September, so maybe there's a direct in October. I think that they have to do a little bit more with this console, just because we don't really have that Breath of the Wild moment or that Breath of the Wild game for the Switch successor, in the form of something that's like huge, will pull in, both general and, I wouldn't say casual crowds, but, it'll pull into the Nintendo audience, and then there's obviously smaller audiences within that, like the Zelda audience, the Mario audience, the Pokemon audience. And I think that was good. It pulled in the Nintendo audience just because it's a Nintendo console, and it was able to pull in the Zelda audience. And the Zelda audience is obviously huge. So the one game I guess I could see that moment being with is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. But the franchise isn't as big as it once was, and I don't think Nintendo wants to put all that pressure on, that being the launch title, that being the big game for the console. First and foremost, because that's going to be a huge ask just for that game that obviously is coming on the Switch, but it's not necessarily a game that will appeal to everybody in the same way that maybe a Breath of the Wild would have, or what I think will be the launch title, a 3D Mario. And so I think Metroid Prime 4 will appear somewhere in this direct, either to show like backward compatibility or to show cross-gen of some sort. But I think that the trailer itself, I think we will see the trailer no matter what for the console. I think the trailer itself will tease a couple of games. I think it will be 3 or 4. We'll see, a Mario Kart, a 3D Mario. I think 3D Mario will have the biggest presence, because I think a 3D Mario trailer will also follow the first look trailer in this direct. But I think that's going to be around, that's going to be about what I think will be, because I don't think we'll see many game trailers in this direct. I think we'll see a big presence on them talking about the console. I think we will see a launch title trailer for the 3D Mario, and then maybe, 1 or 2 other trailers. But I do think we'll also see a presentation at some point early next year that will give trailers to a bunch of the games that we see in this presentation trailer type video. And so yeah, that's basically my idea. I don't think we're gonna see, Switch 1 games in this direct, and that's, well, if we see Metroid Prime 4, we are gonna see a Switch 1 game, but I don't think we're gonna see like Switch 1 announcements here from Nintendo specifically, unless there is, a cross-gen game that, they show in the trailer, like maybe a remake of sorts, like a remake, maybe a Zelda remake. Maybe that could be for both the Switch 1 and the Switch Successor. But I think this will mainly focus on the Switch Successor. And yeah, obviously I did already mention that I think there's also the other chance that I would give like the direct maybe like a 55% chance and the trailer a 45% chance. And again, that's why, I'm so like in the middle of what this reveal could be that I didn't want to record the predictions before the announcement happened. But I think I've already pretty much mentioned what I think the trailer would look like. I think it will look very similar to what we saw with the Switch 1 reveal trailer, where we see again the console, we see it in hybrid mode. I guess that's also the other big thing that I'll get into it a little bit after this, but we don't really know the form factor. I mean, we obviously have an idea about the form factor because we've seen mock-ups of the console, but we don't really know. I mean, that those mock-ups apparently were from maybe a year ago, so we don't really know yet. So, but yeah, I think we'll see the main idea behind the console. Obviously, if it's a Switch successor and then like another Switch, they're gonna keep the hybrid concept. But, you know, does it have a microphone? Does it have an additional feature that's like associated with software or something? I think we will see that no matter what, either if it's a direct or a trailer. But in the trailer, obviously, we'll see that even more. You know, they'll have to emphasize that. And then I think we'll obviously see a couple of games. We'll see 3D Mario Kart, you know, the bigger titles from Nintendo. Basically, again, the equivalent of what we saw with the first look trailer. And then, you know, we'll probably get some social media posts after that talking about the partners Nintendo has for the console and the release timing that we have. And I won't talk much about the release timing just because I think it does fall out of the physical year for Nintendo this year. Not this year, but, you know, the physical year ending in March of 2025. And I want to try to keep this contained really to that time period. So, but I think I think we will get a reveal timing for the for the console itself. But yeah, I mean, that is really all I have in terms of that. That's like not exact predictions, you know. In like a predictions video, I would talk about like the features I think the console will have. Again, I mentioned the microphone, but like, will it have a camera? Will it be able to cast to the dock? I think that's something I want to more focus on the predictions video. The name of the console is something I want to predict more and think a little bit more about before I make the predictions video. So yeah, the reveal I think will be either a reveal trailer or a direct. If it's a reveal trailer, probably like 3 to 4 minutes. If it's a direct, I think I could see it being like 10 to 20 minutes, depending on exactly what they want to show. If they want to show more than one game trailer, if they want to do an in-depth discussion on the console just by itself, you know, if they just want to do an in-depth discussion, if they want to do something more, I don't know. Maybe it'll be a general direct, who knows? But I think that is largely what I think the reveal will look like in the coming days, hopefully in the coming days. But yeah, again, you know, I don't have a lot to discussion in terms of the reveal just yet because we don't know what it will look like. But when we think about the Nintendo Switch 1, we will obviously see games for it after the successor is released, after the successor is announced and even released. And so I think we will see at some point this year another announcement that will take place, that will release after Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, just because I think that will be, you know, I think they will need at least one more game. And again, me thinking this console isn't going to release before physical year 2025 ends, I think that they will obviously need one more game either in February or March to pretty much you know, still keep the Switch going for a little bit longer before the console releases, and then they can maybe have a couple of cross-gen games or backwards compatible games. And yeah, so I think that is largely what I think everything will be. Again, I mentioned earlier, this has been it's been a very good year, but it's still been a somewhat lower or smaller year in some ways than previous years. So I think we are on board for a Nintendo Switch successor reveal. But yeah, that is really all I have today. You know, I could talk about, I mean, again, it is really hard to talk about the Switch successor without seeing it. And you know, honestly, I may do this video today. I may do the predictions tomorrow. I may do the reveal on Wednesday, and then either on Thursday or Friday, I might do like a post-reveal discussion, talking about what I think the console will be, and like not what the console will be, but like what features it could have that they didn't show off yet, based on what we've seen. But I guess this video is also kind of just me talking through what I want to do. You know, I'm very excited for this console, and I do want to make a couple of videos. I mean, not a couple of videos, a lot of videos on this console once we fully know what it's about, what it is, you know, what games it will have. And yeah, you know, we have a lot of hope for this week. At least in my opinion, I have a lot of hope for this week that we see the successor. And, you know, it's a very exciting time. I guess I can go a little bit into predictions, not too much. I've already gone a good amount into like what I think will be like the launch title, 3D Mario, and I think we'll see that in the Direct. But I guess I could talk about the presentation that I think will happen not later this year, early next year, just for a little bit. But I think we will see, some games in the reveal trailer and the reveal Direct, depending on what they do. But I think that will largely be amplified of some sort. I'm not sure if it's the right word, but we will see a lot more of that in the presentation. I think it will be something closer to the January 2017 presentation, but I don't think it will be in the same format. I don't think Nintendo's going to do it again in person. There's just a lot of benefit, I think, in my opinion, to them doing it pre-recorded. Obviously, it's probably a little bit easier to do it in person because there's not, you don't have to focus too much on making sure everything's perfect. There is going to be mistakes if you do it live in person, but I think they want to have that control over the way that the console is being revealed, the way the console is being talked about, and I think a pre-recorded reveal presentation that's like in the form of a Direct. Though if they do call the reveal a Direct, I don't think they're going to call whatever's in January or February a Direct. I think that's going to be a presentation like we used to see with E3 Directs. Well, they're not even Direct. They're E3 presentations or the E3 digital showcases. I think we'll see that terminology used for whatever we see next year. But if we don't call it Direct this year, maybe next year could be the Direct. We don't know. We don't have a Direct. But I think we'll obviously see those games. I think we'll see a bunch of third-party games. And I guess that's a little bit what I can talk about here. I think we will see third-party games no matter what. No matter what the reveal looks like this week or in the presentation next month. Or, if the reveal doesn't come this week, I guess, whatever the reveal ends up being, we obviously will see first-party and third-party games. We'll probably see some big ones. In the October 2016 reveal, we obviously had Skyrim as the big reveal. Do we see a Baldur's Gate 3 here? Do we see an Elden Ring? Do we see something a little bit smaller than that? Do we see, maybe a Xbox exclusive game come to the Nintendo Switch Successor, and they use that as the main third-party game in the reveal? But, there was a couple. I think there was NBA 2K. There was Skyrim. There might have been another one, but I think those two were the ones that stick out to me. And then the first party games obviously were Zelda, Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon 2, and stuff like that. So I think we'll see that. I think we'll see a combination of that no matter what happens in the reveal. Again, I'm hoping it's a Direct, honestly. I'm fine with either, but I kind of hope it's a Direct just because I want to know as much as I can about this console. No matter what, I think after the reveal happens, we are gonna have some silence. We're gonna have them focus back on Mario and Luigi, or whatever game's coming out around then if it's not this year. But in the timeline I'm working with, I think we will see maybe them tweet about the Successor for a day or two, and then we'll go back to focusing on Mario and Luigi, and then we probably won't have much discussion about it throughout the rest of the year. We will obviously see some games get announced for it. Just recently we had Yooka-Laylee be announced for the Nintendo, and then the eyeball emoji of the eyeballs. That's kind of become associated with the Switch Successor on the internet, the eyeballs. But we obviously saw that. We've obviously seen some smaller games be announced for the Switch Successor. I'm not sure if those announced or they're just saying they're targeting the Switch Successor. Because obviously I'm not sure who has a dev kit and who doesn't. But I think we'll see more of that, between the reveal and the presentation. And then obviously after the presentation, we'll get even more announcements. But, maybe at the Game Awards, something like that. But I do think, I was alluding to it earlier with Switch 1 stuff. I do think we'll see some Switch 1 stuff after the reveal happens this year. I don't think we'll see much Switch 2 after the reveal, but I think we will see, maybe a new trailer for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. And I think they made it a little bit careful with that, depending on what they do with Metroid Prime 4 Beyond in the reveal, or just what they're going to do with it in general. That could kind of give us an idea about where the console is releasing. If they want to have the game release around there, or a little bit after it, at some point, maybe before it. If it's before it, obviously, they won't have like too much. That won't be too much of an indication about what's going to happen with the console's release. But I think we'll have another trailer for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I think we will have a new game announcement. If I had to make a guess on that, I think it will be, again, another game that's made by an external development studio that uses either a Nintendo IP or Nintendo's publishing, like the Bayonetta games or Astral Chain. Well, Astral Chain is Nintendo's IP, so like the Bayonetta games, or even like Fitness Boxing, that's coming out in December. So we still have a couple of published games from Nintendo, but I think we'll see at least one more game this year announced, and then we'll see a Metroid Prime 4 Beyond trailer. Again, we have Legends ZA. It's interesting to talk about Legends ZA and the idea of the pre-reveal, because that is a game I could see being in the reveal trailer. We haven't seen any gameplay for it yet, which makes me think that either the game isn't ready, or that the game, they're just not ready to obviously marketing it yet, or that they're just waiting for the Switch Successor to be revealed to show off the game in the best form possible, because obviously Pokemon recently has had a couple of, criticisms related to the way the games run, the way the games visually look during the Switch era. So I could see them trying to put their best foot forward and have the game show up first through a Switch Successor trailer, or just using the guise of the Nintendo Switch Successor as the best version for the game, because we know that game's coming out on Nintendo Switch. But I'm kind of in the middle on that, and that's why I like these types of videos. So I'm just basically I'm able to think about while I'm talking exactly what I'm trying to communicate, but it's something I'm in the middle about, because I think that if you reveal a game for a console, you should probably before another console's announced, you should probably also show that first. The way that game looks first. Both, I think that could benefit you, because you're going to show how well the game actually looks in comparison to the successor once you're able to, or the next console when you're able to do that, show it off there. But I think it's also, I wouldn't say deceiving, but if that's the first time you show off the game again, I think it does leave a little bit of a weird taste in the mouths of those that are there, they won't be able to get the successor at launch, and then they were really hyped for the game, but they're seeing a lot more focus putting on the the next generation of it. I don't think it'll be that big of an issue, but I think that's why I like what Nintendo did with Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. They probably knew when the reveal was going to happen at that point. They knew the reveal was going to happen either this year in October or September, or in March or some point early next year. But they still showed off Metroid Prime 4, seemingly running on the Nintendo Switch 1. I'm pretty sure that was on Nintendo Switch 1. And so yeah, I think that's what Pokemon should do. But the reason why I think it's possible that we could see Legends EA appear on the Switch this in whatever reveal happens is because we did see the next, we got a second look at Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl in August of 2021, but we did see a clip of it in the OLED trailer, and that could just be because Nintendo's that was Nintendo's big game that they had announced at that point. I think that year had WarioWare, it had obviously Mario Party, it had Pokemon, it had Metroid Dread. So, I think all those appeared in the reveal. Not all of those. I think WarioWare and Mario Party didn't, but Metroid Dread did. Tears of the Kingdom even did. So, I think that's also part of the reason. That was their big game, but that was the second time we saw the game. We saw the trailer, and then we saw that clip in the OLED trailer. So I think it's possible we see Legends ZA, but we also won't really know that it's Legends ZA, I don't think, because we haven't seen any gameplay for it yet. So yeah, that's basically my thought process on that. Again, I will have predictions out later this week, if the reveal does happen this week, or if the real announcement is this week. I guess I should say, because there is a non-zero chance that they just drop the trailer online at some point in the next coming days. But I think again we will see. I think we'll have an announcement, and then I will record my predictions after that announcement is made. And I gotta start working on those predictions. I gotta start writing them down, so I'm ready to say them and have a little bit more of a not coherent, but like a lot more easier of a flow in my video for that, because here I'm just basically just discussing what I think is gonna happen. There's a lot can happen, so I figured I'm doing this pretty much without a script or really without any notes. And that's usually what I do with my prediction videos. I usually have some sort of notes. For like direct videos, I write on a note card with the games I want to predict, or like the ideas that I would think the direct will have. Not the ideas, but like the projects the direct will have. And then, obviously for the reveal video or reveal direct, I'll write down some of the games I think that will appear in there. You've already heard a couple of them, but I might write about like what I think will happen with those games. Do I think it'll be a new one? Do I think we will see a new Splatoon, or will it be Splatoon 3 Deluxe? Do I think we'll see a new Smash Brothers? Stuff like that. But yeah, I'm very excited to record that video. I'm very excited for this reveal to happen, which is why I want to make this a themed week in some ways. But I'm not sure there is really much more for me to talk about right now. I'm basically just working off what we know, or what we expect. There isn't really much to know yet. I think a lot of people are expecting the reveal this week just because the investors call for Nintendo is next Tuesday on November 5th. And so I think that obviously Nintendo doesn't do the reveal before then. They will get questions about what the console, where the console is, and they'll probably respond with, we said in May that we would give some more information on the console before the end of the physical year, so before the end of March 2025. And they'll be keeping to that promise, but I think they'll have some questions, especially with the at that point the physical year stuff is a little weird because it ends in the call will address mostly stuff that happened by September 30th. And so, obviously, on the release schedule, we will still see Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Party Jamboree. We'll see Mario and Luigi. We'll probably see Fitness Boxing. We'll see Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, and we'll see Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Legends EA. But still, two of those things won't have a date. One of those things have already been released. We're pretty much only looking, and then there's only 2 games that are really using Nintendo IPs at that point, in Mario and Luigi and Donkey Kong. So we don't really have a great look at the future just yet. And I think if it's not this week and it's not before the investors call, it'll be before the next investors call, because at that point we won't have anything really. We will have those 2, Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Legends EA, and then we'll have Donkey Kong. And maybe we'll have like a game announced by then as well. But yeah, it's very interesting to think about what Nintendo's thinking and what we're thinking as fans. And I think that's also the fun part about all this, because who knows what Nintendo's gonna do. I mean, Nintendo may just post every day they might post a picture of Pikmin on their social media channels, and that'll be it for the week. But again, I think the reveal is gonna happen this week. That's also why I'm labeling this a pre-reveal discussion, just in case it doesn't, but I think it will. And I think I'm very excited for it. What else? I mean, I don't think there's really much more for me to talk about. Again, I'm having a lot of fun with Super Mario Party Jamboree. I'm hoping that the game gets some DLC on the Switch Successor, or even on the normal Switch. But I'm expecting this game to probably be a Mario Party that carries on for a little bit longer than the other ones. I could see this one, maybe lasting 4 to 5 years before we get another Mario Party. Just because it has so much content, and I can see them adding like another new board, maybe a new retro board, maybe some new mini games, maybe a new mode, stuff like that. But meet some new characters. But I think, I'm very excited for that. Obviously, the Echoes of Wisdom came out last month. And the Mario and Luigi comes out next week. Right? Yes, next week. So, yeah, I was right on that one. Next week. But, yeah, that is really all I have for you all today. I keep saying that, but I'm thinking about new things to say. But, again, I will have a reaction for the reveal once it airs on probably... At this point, it's probably on Wednesday. It could be tomorrow, but probably Wednesday. And I'm honestly kind of hoping it's on Wednesday, because that means I have the ability to record my predictions tomorrow. If they do announce the reveal for tomorrow tonight, I'll have maybe like a couple of hours, like 2 hours max, to record those predictions. And that means I have to focus on writing down my predictions now, which I will do after I upload this video. But what else do I have to say? That's pretty much it. Again, I think we will see. I think that the announcement's gonna be really exciting, and that's why I'm really excited about. With all of this, we're finally gonna get some new games. We're finally gonna see some games from studios that we haven't seen in a little while. We haven't seen a new 3D Mario game in a long while. We haven't seen. Obviously, we haven't gotten anything for Smash Bros. Since 2021. We did get Amiibos, but since 2021, we haven't seen like new content for Smash. Obviously last year we got the 3D Zelda last year, so we're still probably a good many years away from that. But we're in line for a new 2D Metroid, and we're in line for a new Captain Toad, and it's really exciting. It's just really, really exciting that we're pretty much on the cusp of something new, a bunch of new projects from Nintendo. At a certain point, in the middle of this lifespan we'll be talking about, we're on the cusp of a new top-down Zelda. We're on the cusp of, again, another 3D Zelda, or again we're getting a new Mario Kart, or maybe a new ARMS, another Splatoon. So we're pretty much restarting the cycle, and I think that's really exciting. And that's basically what this discussion is about. We're getting ready for a new generation of Nintendo, and I think that's really cool. But again, that is all I have. Again, that's all I really have for you all today. And I hope you all enjoy this week. I hope you all enjoy the reactions that you watch. And if you do your own reaction, I hope you all enjoy the reveal. But yeah. That is, again, I think that's it. But I hope you all have a great rest of your week. I hope you all have a great time watching the reveal. And if you do your own predictions, or... depending on what happens, if you want to, you can leave predictions down in the comments below about what you think the reveal will look like. Yeah, I guess we could do that with this video. What do you think the reveal will look like? Will it be a direct? Will it be just a reveal trailer? Will it be a statement from Nintendo? Anything really. If you feel like that's gonna happen this week, please feel free to leave it down in the comments below. But until next time, which will likely be a predictions video for the Nintendo Successor reveal, I will see you in the next one. Make sure to make you happy, because our rhymes are generic happy, and goodbye.